At the beginning of the COVID crisis, governments felt they had to choose between lockdowns, which would harm the economy, and voluntary measures, which risk harming health. Sweden chose voluntary measures instead of a lockdown. 3 months into the pandemic, Swedish GDP had fallen by 8.3%. The Netherlands had a much tougher measures, but its economy shrank by roughly the same amount as Sweden, minus 8.5% over the same period. A team of researchers at King's Business School and ABN AMRO Bank decided to explore why consumers, with the freedom to go out and spend, choose not to do so. Was it a fear factor? The team looked at data from 2 Dutch cities with very different levels of COVID cases. Amsterdam, where the cases were high, and the smaller northern city, Groningen, where levels of COVID during spring and summer were low. Looking at the bank's data on in-person card transactions made in shops, cafes, hairdressers and other venues when they reopened, we saw that activity in Amsterdam dropped lower than in Groningen and stayed lower for longer. Also, even businesses that were allowed to open during the lockdown in April and May saw a hit to their activity. Looking at grocery spending, the one purchase that we cannot avoid making, we saw that there were a high number of cases locally. People went less to the supermarket. In other words, people curtailed their behaviour voluntarily when they knew they were at risk of getting the virus. We concluded that the trade-off between the economy and health was more complex than we had assumed. We then shared our research with policymakers, which provided another argument for them to impose restrictive measures. As we continue to manage the virus and protect the economy, we need to either control the spread of the virus or somehow reduce people's fear.